She vanished in a swirl of white lace and diesel fumes, leaving me choking on rose petals and the echo of "I do" that never came. The congregation's whispers turned to outright jeers as I stood there, tux unbuttoned, ring box crushed in my fist like a bad habit I couldn't quit. But the real gut punch? The cops showing up an hour later, cuffs ready. Because Amaya hadn't just run, she'd framed me for embezzling the down payment on our dream house. A cool $250,000 that vanished like her taillights into the Vegas night. That was 5 years ago, back when I thought love was a straight shot down the aisle in some sun-baked Reno chapel. The kind where Elvis officiates and regrets come cheap. I was 28, fresh off a tour in Afghanistan with the Marines, trading sand for strip malls and the promise of normalcy. Amaya was my anchor, fiery, unpredictable, with eyes like desert storms and a laugh that could disarm a roadside bomb. We'd met at a VFW barbecue in Sparks, her slinging beers while I nursed a Pabst and a fresh divorce from the war. She was 25, a cocktail waitress with dreams bigger than her tip jar, talking about flipping houses in the suburbs, starting a family that didn't flinch at fireworks on the 4th. Our engagement was whirlwind stupid, the good kind. 6 months in, we pooled everything for that fixer-upper in Henderson, cracked stucco, lemon tree out back that she'd named Baby's First Shade. I signed the papers blind, trusting her with the escrow because, hell, she was the one with the real estate hookup. Some shady uncle in finance who knew people. The wedding was her idea. Intimate, impulsive, Reno style to beat the Nevada heat. I rented the tux, invited Ma and a couple buddies from the base. She picked the dress, ivory silk that hugged her like a secret. The altar was a plywood arch draped in fake orchids. The officiant a guy named Carl in a jumpsuit who smelled like Bengali and regret. Guests trickled in. Her cousin from Cali, my old squad mate Ramirez with his wife, a smattering of barflies who'd become family. I paced the vestibule, palms slick, heart thumping like incoming mortar. 5 minutes to go. The organ wheezed into canon in D, and Amaya's cue came, her maid of honor, a bleach blonde named Tiff, shuffling down with a bouquet that looked like roadkill. Then nothing. The music looped. Awkward chuckles rippled. And Carl cleared his throat into the mic like he was announcing last call. 10 minutes.
20.
Ramirez cracked a joke about cold feet, but his eyes said pity. I bolted to the back room, found her vanity smeared with lipstick, veil abandoned like shed skin. A note on the mirror, scrawled in her loopy script. Can't do this. Sorry.
Jake.
Live free. No Jake, Jacob. Full name. The one she whispered in the dark. Just Jake. Like I was some John she'd stiffed on the tab. The fallout hit like shrapnel. Ma sobbed into her Kleenex, calling it that hussy's karma coming early. Ramirez drove me to the first bar, where I drowned the what-ifs in Jack and Cokes until last call blurred into blackout. But Dawn brought the badges, 2 suits from Metro PD, flashing warrants like bad poker hands. Embezzlement. Mr. Harlan. That house deposit? Wired to an offshore account in your name. My name. Not hers. The bank log showed my IP. My login, hell. Even my social stamped on the transfer. $250,000 gone.
Poof.
To some Cayman shell corp tied to nothing. They had me cold. Surveillance from the escrow office. Me signing docs like a mark. I lawyered up with a public defender who smelled like stale coffee and lost causes. Plea deal. 5 years probation. Restitution I couldn't pay on a veteran's pension. and a felony rap that nuked my security clearance. No prison bars. But the cage was invisible, jobs ghosting my resume. Dates swiping left on convicted fraudster. Amaya vanished deeper than Houdini.
Nooit són socials.
No trail from her old crew. Tiff clammed up, claiming girl code, but her eyes darted like she'd seen ghosts. I hired a skip tracer with my severance. $500 for nada, but a lead on a burner phone pinging Albuquerque. Then silence. Prison?
Nah.
But the grind was worse. I couch-surfed Ma's Double Wide in Reno, flipping burgers at In-N-Out for minimum plus pity tips. Nights, I'd stare at the ceiling, replaying her laugh, the way she'd trace my scars and call them roadmaps to hear. Betrayal isn't a knife, it's slow poison. Questions festering like untreated wounds. Why me? Why frame the guy who'd die for you? The house was our future. Nursery walls we'd paint blue or pink. Grill Sundays with the squad. Or was it? Digging through old emails post-arrest. I found anomalies. Her uncle emails bouncing. Deposits from investors that smelled fishy. Like insider trades or worse. She'd been playing me, using my clean record as cover for some hustle gone south. Revenge? It simmered low at first. A banked fire. I audited her trail obsessively, FOIAs on the case file. Hacking public records with VPNs from the library. Nothing. Joined AA for the coffee. But really to hear were stories that made my ache feel small. That's where I met Doc Ellis. Ex-Army medic turned ER hotshot. Slinging platitudes about redirecting the pain. He saw the rage in my eyes. The way I'd crush styrofoam cups mid-meeting. Channel it. Harlan. Save lives instead of ending. Sounded like bullshit. But unemployment checks dried up. So I enrolled in paramedic certs at Truckee Meadows CC. Grunt work. Night shifts. IVs in veins that fought back. Codes in trailer parks where hope flatlined. 2 years in, I was certified, riding shotgun on Rig 17 out of Washomed. The job was chaos poetry, sirens cutting suburbia like accusations. Patients spilling guts literal and figurative. It numbed the edges. OD kid in sparks. Pulse thready under my defib paddles, a heart attack in a casino high roller suite. Chips scattering like confetti from hell. Ma beamed at graduation, pinning my badge like it was a Purple Heart. Proud of you, baby. She's dust now. But dust haunts. I'd skin every female Vic under 30. Heart skipping if the eyes matched stormy gray. Framed by lashes like accusations. Year 3. The itch turned to plan. I'd scraped enough for a real PI. A grizzled vet named Kowalski, who chain-smoked camels and owed me from Nom Tales. Harlan, your girl's a ghost. But ghosts leave echoes. 2 months. $3,000. And boom, Amaya Ruiz. Now Maya Kessler, waitressing at a dive off the strip in Henderson, irony's middle finger. Married?
Nah.
But shacked up with a promoter named Vic Russo. Slick as Vaseline. Ties to the syndicates that ran the old unions. Photos showed her leaner. Harder. Laugh lines etched like regrets. Kowalski's report, she'd bolted with the cash to cover a bookie's debt. Vic's crew. High-rolling sports bets gone bust. Framed me to buy time. Forged the docs with a notary on payroll. Classic Mark, he grunted. You were the fall guy. Clean slate and all. The fire roared then. I printed the dossier. Taped it to my fridge like a wanted poster. Nights off. I drive the 405 loop. Past the house we'd almost owned, now foreclosed. Windows boarded like my heart. Fantasies cycled, confronting her at closing time, dragging Vic into the desert for chat. But Doc's voice echoed, redirect. So I did subtly. Anonymous tip to her old PD file, flagging the forgery. Nothing stuck, statutes or bribes. Who knows? Then, a whisper campaign through barfly networks. Maya's got sticky fingers. Ask her ex.
Petty?
Sure. But it chipped. Kowalski reported her shifts cut. Vic's side-eye sharpening. By year 4, I was lead on Rig 17. Scars faded to stories I told rookies over Denny's hash. Ma passed that winter, cancer, quick and cruel, leaving me her '98 Civic and a safety deposit box with Ma's rings and my discharge papers. Funeral sharpen edges. Mine drove me to escalate. I hacked her P.O. box, juvenile, using library Wi-Fi and a script from a dark web forum. Junk mail mostly, but a clinic bill. OBGYN. Henderson Women's Health. Miscarriage. 6 months prior. My gut twisted, not joy. Not quite. Our nursery ghosted back. Blue walls mocking. Was it Vic's? Mine? From some stolen weekend? The not knowing burned worse than the frame. I toyed with poison pens. Letters to Vic. Spilling her secrets. Or worse, tipping icy if her Ruiz was shaky. Whispers of an expired visa from her Cali days. Controversial? Hell yes. She was American as apple pie and regret. But technicalities bite. I held off, waiting for the perfect storm. Enter the storm. Dispatch crackling on a muggy August night. Year 5. Rig 17. Multi-car pileup on I-15 southbound. Mile marker 42. Female. Mid-30s. Ejected. Critical. En route to sunrise. Adrenaline's old friend. But the address pinged familiar. Off-ramp to Henderson. Near her dive. We floored it. Lights carving the dark like accusations. Scene was apocalypse light. Crumpled accord wrapped around a semi's guardrail. Airbags, deflated ghosts. Jaws of life, whining. Firefighters pried the door. I jumped in with backboard. Vitals kit humming. The Vic, petite frame twisted wrong. Dark hair matted. Face swollen but unmistakable. A Maya.
Or Maya.
Whatever lies she wore now. Jake. Her voice. Ragged whisper as I stabilized her neck. C-collar clicking like fate's lock. Eyes fluttered open.
Stormai grai looking mine, shock.
Then something fractured. Like recognition in a funhouse mirror.
No.
God. No. Yeah, I said.
Flat as tria.
God has a sense of humor. Pulse thready at 110. BP crashing. Femur compound but no arterial spray yet. Internal bleeding likely. Spleen or liver from the dash kiss. Vic hovered at the sidelines. Gold chain glinting under flares. Barking at cops like he owned the lane. She's my girl. Move it. Assholes. We loaded her. Sirens wailing biblical judgment.
En route.
I rode in back. For saline wide open. Monitors beeping dirge. She gripped my forearm. Nails digging like anchors.
Jake. I'm sorry.
The money, it was Vic. He made me. I had to. Save it. Amaya. Name dropped like a slap. Her flinch confirmed it. You've got a collapsed lung. Focus on breathing. But she wouldn't. Words tumbling like loose change. The baby. It was yours. I found out too late. Vic, he knew. Threatened to kill us both if I stayed.
Baby. Ours.
The twist gutted me mid-compression. Wait. No compressions yet. But my hands froze on the AP syringe. Miscarriage. My kid. Collateral in her web. Rage and grief collided. A IED in my chest. You framed me. Took everything. And now this. Tears tracked mascara rivers. I was scared.
Young.
Stupid. Tried to pay him back, but it spiraled. Jake, please forgive. Forgiveness? In the box of an ambulance barreling towards Sunrise ER, with her sats dipping to 88%, I could ease the morphine drip, let hypoxia take her quiet. Or goose it. By time for surgeons to patch the mess. Controversial call, savior or saboteur. Vic's face flashed, punching his lights post-drop-off. Or letting her spill to the docks. Tank his empire. My thumb hovered the port, world narrowing to that beep beep beep. We hit the bay doors. Trauma teams swarming like locusts. Female. 30s. MVC ejection. Hypotensive. Possible hemoperitoneum. I barked, wheeling her in, her hand slipping mine like sand. Scrubs blurred. Ellis there, gloved and grim. Harlan, you good?
Yeah. Lie.
They wheeled her to or. Doors swinging like guillotines. I slumped against the wall. Pager silent for once. The dossier burning in my locker like prophecy. Vic stormed in. Cologne cutting the antiseptic sting. You the guy? Harlan? She mentioned. Save it. Russo. I straightened, badged a shield. She's fighting. You her emergency contact. His smirk faltered. Eyes calculating odds.
Yeah.
And if she talks. Talks about what? Your books? The threats.
Bluff.
But it landed, his jaw ticked. Fist clenching. Listen. Hero. Walk away. Or we got problems. Problems. The word hung. American as apple pie a la mode with arsenic. I could call it in, anonymous to IA. Vic's crew on blast. Or play long game. Nurse her back. Extract confessions on tape. Revenge wasn't a sprint, it was this. The slow bleed. Hours ticked in the waiting lounge. Vending machine coffee turning to sludge. Nurses buzzed. Spleen lacerated, but stable. Transfusion holding. Dawn crept, painting the strip pink from the window. Footsteps, cops. 2 detectives with notepads. The same vibe as my arrest night. Mr. Harlan? Russo says you knew the Vic. Old history? I nodded. Scripting neutral.
Ex-fiancé.
Rough split. They probed, accident details. Her state. Vic's alibi clean. Poker game at Bellagio. No mention of the frame. That skeleton stayed buried unless I exhumed it. She say anything in the rig? One asked. Pen poised. Regrets, I said. Plenty. They left. Satisfied. Vic slunk back, offering a burner with his number. For updates.
And.
Truce? She's all I got.
Truce.
The word soured. I pocketed it. Mind racing scenarios. Leak the PI report to his boss. Watch the dominoes. Or mercy kill the past, walk away. Let her heal into someone else's regret. Visiting hours hit noon. I scrubbed in, mask hiding the storm. Or recovery, monitor steady, tubes snaking like lies. Amaya stirred as I pulled the curtain, eyes clearing to terror, then plea.
Jake.
You saved me. Job, I muttered. Checking chart. That's good. Pain. Everything hurts.
Pause.
Her fingers twitching toward mine. The baby after you. I couldn't. Vic found out. Beat it out of me. Literally.
Beat.
The word ignited. Images of her curled. Protecting our ghost. Vic's face now target-rich. Why tell me now? Because you're here.
And I.
I never stopped. Tears again.
Raw.
The money's still out there. Cayman account. Yours if you want.
Just.
Don't let him near me.
Bait.
Or truth. I wait it, claim the cash. Clear my name. Twist the knife. Or expose her. Drag Vic down collateral. Sleep. Amaya. We'll talk.
Outside.
The desert sun baked the lot. Mirages dancing like false hopes. Pager buzzed. Next call. Overdose in Fremont. Routine. But as I slid into the rig, Kowalski's voice echoed. Ghosts leave echoes. Hers did. Loud now. Revenge? It shifted, not destruction, but reclamation. I'd save her body. But her soul? That was the real or scalpel in my conscience. The weeks blurred into a tense détente. Shifts kept me pinned, codes in meth labs, strokes in McMansions, but off-duty, I haunted sunrise. Amaya mended slow, pins in the femur, PT that left her cursing in Spanglish. Vic played the doting boyfriend. Flowers wilting faster than his patience. I'd catch him in the hall, pacing, phone glued to ear, barking codes to ghosts. Yeah, she's stable. No loose ends. Once, he cornered me by the cafeteria. Harlan. Right? Army boy. Amaya says you were. Important. Water under the bridge.
Lie.
My fists itched for his jaw, mapping bruises. He chuckled.
Oily.
Bridges burn easy. She talks too much. You know? Old habits. Threat wrapped in velvet. I nodded, filing at his slip, the old habits tying to the frame. Amaya's confessions trickled. Morphine loose, at first. Then deliberate. The night before the wedding, Vic's goons at her door. Debt ballooned to $300K from bad Super Bowl bets. He said flip the house money or we're done me. You. The whole dream. She forged my SIG with a library scanner. Wired it through a mule account. Thought I'd pay it back quick. Flip a condo. But the market tanked. Vic smelled blood. And the baby? I pressed one dusk. Blinds slatting gold across her bed. Her face crumpled. Conceived that weekend in Tahoe. Before the chaos. I knew leaving you. But staying? He'd kill us. Miscarriage at 4 months stress. Vic's lessons with fists when she balked at another hustle. Rage crystallized. Not just her. But him, the puppeteer flipping strings. I taped it all. Phone hidden in my stethoscope case. Hours of raw audio. Kowalski transcribed. Gold. Harlan. Extortion material. But leverage cut both ways, use it wrong. And I'm the villain. Twist came mid-September. Amaya's discharge looming. Vic invited me to clear the air. Dinner at his joint. A steakhouse off Sahara with valet and Ferraris. Family style, he grinned, clapping my back too hard. I went armed, recorder in pocket, .38 in ankle holster, off-duty, but Nevada's loose. The booth was red vinyl. Stakes sizzling like accusations. Amaya wheeled in last. Pale, but pretty in a sundress. Eyes pleading don't. Vic poured reds. Toasting second chances. Bullshit flowed, his construction biz. Her recovery. Then the pivot. Harlan. Amaya here's been. Chatty. About old scores. That house thing? Water under. His eyes hardened. But digging? That's drowning. Threat explicit now. I sipped.
Steady.
Digging's what I do. Medics. Remember? Cut to the bleed. He laughed. But Amaya didn't. Her fork clattered. Face ashen. Vic. Stop. Shut it.
Babe.
Flip, charm to snarl. Hand slamming table. The waiter froze. I palmed my napkin. Inches from steel. See? Harlan. She's mine now. Debts paid.
But you?
Loose end. The restaurant blurred. Patrons oblivious. Our booth a pressure cooker. Amaya's whisper. Jake. Run. But I didn't. Instead. Paid how? Her blood? Our kids. Vic's face twisted, confusion. Then dawn. Kid? What the? Amaya's gasp confirmed. She'd never told him the paternity. His chair scraped. Fist rising. You lying bitch. Chaos erupted. I lunged, tackling him over the table, stakes flying, glass shattering like vows. His goon from the door piled in, meaty paws grabbing my collar. Amaya screamed, wheeling back into a busboy. Punches landed, his ring splitting my lip, my knee to his gut folding him. For the baby, I growled, elbow to throat. Cops swarmed minutes later, valet's 911. Or Amaya's, Vic cuffed. Sputtering assault. This vet's psycho. Me too. But her testimony flipped it. Self-defense. He attacked first, threats. The debts. Detectives from my old case. Recognizing faces. Harlan? Ruiz? Small world. Station house. Fluorescent hell. Coffee like regret. Amaya. Blanket shrouded. Spilled. Full confession. Vic's empire crumbling under her words. The frame. The wire. The beatings. Jake took the fall for me. Saved me twice now. My audio backed it. Kowalski's report the cherry. Feds looped in by dawn. Rico whispers. Vic's books unraveling like cheap thread. He flipped. Of course, rat to save skin. Naming bosses for immunity. Amaya walked. Charges dropped. I too. With a slap for the brawl. The money? Wired back. Laundered clean through restitution. Half to victims' fund. Half mine, enough for the house. Repainted blue. Epilogue hit controversial. We didn't reunite. Not clean. Amaya vanished again, therapy in Seattle. Last I heard. Chasing ghosts of her own.
Me?
Rig 17. Scars to stories. Ma's rings on a chain. Revenge? It saved us both. Or damned. Her free but fractured. Me whole but hollow. Was I hero? Holding that apey? Or monster? Taping her soul? Readers pick sides. Life's grayer than that. But in the desert dark, sirens calling, I breathe easier. Live free. Indeed. Wait, no. That can't be the end. I cut it short in my haze. But the real bleed started after the cuffs came off. Dawn at the station. Amaya and I side by side in vinyl chairs. Her in a borrowed sweatsuit. Me with an ice-back blooming purple on my jaw. The detectives, Morales and that rook for my arrest night, paced, flipping pages like they were judging a bad sequel. So, Ruiz or Kessler, whatever, you're saying Russo orchestrated the whole embezzle play. She nodded, voice steady for the first time in years.
Yes.
Used Jake's identity because he was clean. No priors. Vet status, easy mark for the feds to buy the plea. Her eyes flicked to me. Apology raw. I went along.
Scared.
Thought it'd be quick. Morales whistled low. And the miscarriage? Part of the lessons? Vic's flip was already in motion upstairs, lawyer in a cheap suit. Deal on the table. Amaya's flinch said yes. And the room chilled. I added my 2 cents. Tapes in my locker. Full confession. Date stamped. The rook's eyes widened. You recorded her? Without consent. Controversial spike, Nevada's one party. But ethics? Gray as the holding cell paint. Amaya waved it off. I deserved it. All of it. By noon. We were cut loose, statements signed. No charges sticking. Vic's crew scattered like roaches. Feds raided his office. Back room at the steakhouse, by vespers. Hauling servers and ledgers. News hit local. Mob bust in Henderson. Waitress turned state's evidence. No names. But her face pixelated on Channel 8. Mine mercifully absent. I drove her to my place, Ma's old double-wide. Now mine with a VA loan and fresh paint. Just till you sort it, I said, unlocking the door. The lemon tree out back had fruited, sour globes mocking domesticity. She wandered the living room, fingers tracing dust-free shelves, my EMT manuals, Ramirez's old unit photo, the ring box I'd kept like a talisman, unopened.
Jake.
This is, her voice cracked.
Home.
What we lost. Don't. Sharp. I popped painkillers, chased with tap water. You're crashing here. Not moving in. Boundaries. Amaya. She nodded, curling on the couch with a quilt ma crocheted, stars and stripes faded to memory. That night.
Sander Rumble Sierra Nevadas.
Rain sheeting like tears we couldn't shed. I tossed in bed, replaying the booth brawl, his fist glancing my temple, her scream slicing sharper. Hero? Or hothead escalating for catharsis. Sleep came fitful, dreams of altars and accidents blurring. Morning brought coffee black as grudges, her at the Formica table, scrolling her phone, burner I'd loaned. Vic's lawyer called. Immunity for me, too. If I testify. Full bird on the stand. Her laugh was bitter.
Me?
In a pantsuit.
Spilling syndicate there.
Glamorous.
Ha!
Justice. I grunted. Scrambling eggs. Or closure. But inside. The scales tipped. Her words freed me, but chained us. The baby loomed unspoken. A third presence in the kitchenette. Finally, what was it?
Boy?
Girl? She set the mug down. Steam curling like ghosts. Girl.
Elena.
After my abuela, tears welled. I named her in my head. Every kick. Felt her go. Alone. In that ER. Vic pacing outside like he owned the pain.
Elena.
The name landed like shrapnel. Embedding. I gripped the counter. Knuckles white. You should have told me. Fought harder. I know. Whisper. But you were building job hunts. Ma's health. Didn't want to drag you under.
Pause.
The frame was my outrun. Start fresh. but fresh. It's all rot. We ate in silence, fork scraping plates like confessions. Post-breakfast, I called Kowalski. Update on the feds. His cut wired. Harlan, you're in deep now. Testify. Or ghost. His gravel laugh.
Kidding.
But watch your six. Russo's got cousins meaner than him. Paranoia prickled. Shifts ramped. A multi on the 395. Skier impaled on a pole. Clean extrication. But blood-haunted. Dispatch routed me past Sunrise Daily. Habit or homing.
Am I settled uneasy? Pete appointments.
Job apps at coffee shops. Irony, no bars. Nights. We talk circuitous. War stories for her hustles. My codes for her close calls. Laughter crept in.
Tentative.
Like scouts across no man's land. But tension coiled. Vic's cousins surfaced, a tail on the Civic. Black SUV lurking at stoplights. I lost them on surface streets. Heart pounding like fresh meat. Reported to Morales. Protection detail? He chuckled. Budget's tight. Harlan. Lock your doors. So I did, deadbolts. .38 under the pillow. Amaya noticed. Eyes wide. This your life now? Because of me. Us. I corrected. We're in it. The flip came subtle, her helping with chores. My hand lingering on her shoulder during a flashback, thunder mimicking mortars. Her soothing like old times. Intimacy tiptoed, shared showers for water bills. But steam carried sense of what was. One night. Cable out. We cracked Ma's whiskey. Toasting Elena under the lemon tree. To do-overs, she murmured. Head on my chest.
Do-overs.
My resolve frayed. Sex happened inevitable, slow. Reclaiming.
Her scars mapping mine.
I love you, she breathed after. Tangled in sheets that smelled of regret and rain. I didn't echo. Words stuck like burrs. Love, or lust laced with leverage. Feds called mid-October. Trial date set. Vegas Federal Courthouse. Amaya prepped with a pro bono suit. Practicing testimony in the mirror, poised. But her eyes screamed trapped. What if they don't believe me? The frame. The baby, it's he said she said with receipts. They will. I squeezed her hand. We've got the tape. Ethics nod again, that recording. Birthed in vengeance. Now salvation. Controversial, violated trust for truth. But without,
Big bulks.
we rot. Crisis peaked All Hallows. Dispatch. 0200. Domestic disturbance. Your address. Heart seized. Tires screeched into the lot. Rig lights, painting the double-wide crimson. Door ajar. Glass shattered inner pane. Amaya. Inside. Chaos, furniture splintered. Her in corner. Bruised cheek blooming. Baseball bat clutched like lifeline. The intruder?
Gun.
But boot prints fresh.
Big's columna lingering.
Cousin, she gasped. Said message from family. Payback for flipping. I swept her to the rig. Vitals stable but psyche shredded.
And I admit, pays you say hall overnights.
Me pacing halls like a caged wolf. Morales arrived. Scene processed, latent prints to lab. Harlan. This escalates. Witness tampering. Will move you.
Us.
The word hung.
Dawn.
Amaya discharged. Eyes hollow. I can't drag you deeper. Testify without me, bury him.
No. Firm.
We end this together. Relocation. Safe house in Sparks. Bland condo with peeling wallpaper and a view of nothing. Fed's footed bill. Stocked with MREs and paranoia. Days blurred. Her depots. My shifts remote, consulting for training vids. Ironic hero paramedic label chafing.
Nights.
We fortified locks. Lights. Lovemaking fierce as survival. Trial loomed Thanksgiving week. Courthouse a fortress of marble and metal detectors.
Big sa Raimen, Shaklat.
Snarling at Amaya across the gallery. Traitor bitch. Bail denied, his flip soured. Bosses cutting ties. Our testimony dovetailed, me on the frame's fallout, her on the empire's guts. Jury ate it, vet betrayed. Woman redeemed. Verdict, guilty. 25 to life. Aftermath, cash cleared, house ours again. Elena's room blue-walled reality. Amaya stayed, but fractures showed, nightmares of fists. My trust a house of cards. Are we good, she'd ask. Mornings over Folgers. Good enough, I'd say.
But the twist?
Months later. A letter, anonymous. Postmarked Cali. New Amaya? Check the dates. Enclosed. Clinic receipt. Her OBGYN bill. Conception window? Post-Tahoe. But Vic's timeline overlapped, DNA untested. But math whispered doubt. Elena mine? Or his shadow? I burned it. Unasked. Truth's a blade. Cuts both. We built anyway. Vows quiet.
No Elvis.
Lemon tree witness. Happy? Tragic? You debate.
Me?
I save lives daily. Knowing some bleed internal. Untouchable. And that's the real revenge. Living.
Flawed. Free.
But freedom's a fickle mistress. Especially when the past claws back with receipts. That letter? I didn't burn it clean. Ashes in the sink. But the doubt festered. A low-grade fever under the skin. Amaya noticed the distance. My longer shifts. The way I'd stare at the nursery walls like they held accusations. Jake?
Talk to me.
Her voice. Soft as the quilts we tangled in. But edged now with fear of losing the fragile piece we'd stitched from shrapnel. It's nothing, I'd lie. Kissing her temple. Just work. Rig 17 demanded more. Holiday surge. Drunks in gutters. Families fracturing over turkey and grudges. Saved a kid from choking on a drumstick that Christmas. Tiny chest under my palms. Amaya's echo in his gasps. She waited up. Cocoa steaming. Our first tree twinkling with Ma's ornaments. Heroes, she teased. But her eyes searched mine for cracks. The cracks widened New Year's. Dispatched to a strip mall brawl, Vic's old haunt, now shuttered. Goons in the alley. One knifed shallow. As I patched, he spat. Russo says hi. Loose ends. Harlan. Feds amped protection. But the message landed. Revenge's echo chamber. Endless. I told Amaya partial, enough to justify the Glock in the glove box. Not the paranoia locking cabinets. Spring thawed the desert. But not us. She bloomed. Yoga at the community center. Barista gig at a indie roastery. Tips in jars labeled Dream Fund. Talked adoption. Ghosts of Elena haunting holidays. We could, she'd say. Hand on my knee during Shark Week marathons. Build what we lost.
Me?
Nodded. But the letter's math nod, conception fuzzy.
Bix, Lasons, Timalinas mea.
Kowalski called April. Voice gravel over static. Harlan. Loose thread. Vic's appeal, claiming coercion. Your tape? He's lawyering it as entrapment. Entrapment. The words soured my gut. You recorded an X in a hospital bed. Juries hate that shit. Ethics boomerang. I'd wielded it for justice.
But now?
Boomer. Amaya overheard, face paling. The tape. You kept it for leverage. Honest now. Too late. Her flinch cut deeper than Vic's goon. Jake. That was private. My pain. Our loss, property. Evidence, I countered. Saved your ass. Argument escalated, voices rising over takeout tie. Her accusing manipulation. Me betrayal's long shadow. You framed me first. Slipped out. Venom. She recoiled, tears hot. And you trapped me with it. We're even. Or poisoned.
Poison.
The word hung. Court adjourned in our kitchen. She slept on the couch that night. Quilt barrier.
Dawn.
Note on the fridge. Needs space. Love you.
But.
Trail off. Like her wedding scrawl. I crumpled it. Punched the wall, knuckles split. Blood abstract on sheetrock. Shifts blurred, vengeful. Over triaged a combative. Held an AP dose on a code till the doc nodded. Doc Ellis pulled me aside post-shift. Coffee in hand. Harlan, you're burning hot. Talk. I spilled, edited. The frame. The save. The tape's fallout. He nodded.
Sage.
Revenge is a dog chases its tail, round and round. Bites itself. Forgive. Or, it owns you. Forgive. Easier preached. Amaya returned that weekend. Duffelite.
Therapy, she said. Solo.
Figure my shit.
Une tentative.
But we talked real.
Raw.
The tape? Deleted. Cloud scrubbed. My word. Doubt lingered. But we parented the ghost. Elena's tree planted. Blue swing creaking empty. Summer scorched. Trial appeal July, Vegas oven. Gallery packed with suits and spectators rubbernecking. Vic center stage. Gaunt in orange. Lawyer shark in pinstripes. Coercion. Your honor, mister. Harlan. A man with motive. Entrapped MS. Ruiz in vulnerability. Played snippets, my voice prompting. Her slurred confessions. Jury shifted. Amaya gripped my hand under the bench. Nails crescents. My rebuttal. Stand. Oath heavy.
Motive?
Yes, betrayed. Framed. Lost a child. Voice, steady. Marine crisp. But I saved her life.
Twice.
Tape was truth. Not trap. Cross-exam probed. You sought revenge. Mister. Harlan. Sought justice. I fired back. Distinction matters. Deliberation dragged 2 days. Sweltering wait. Amaya and I holed in a motel off Boulder Highway. AC wheezing like old lungs. We made love desperate. Reclaiming skin over scars. If it flips, she whispered, we run. Together. It didn't. Verdict held. Appeal denied.
Bikramanda.
Snarling, this ain't over, as bailiffs dragged. Gallery erupted. Feds high-fived. Amaya sagged against me. Sobbed salt on my collar. Free, she breathed. Us. But free's relative. Media sniffed. Local rag. Runaway bride turns tide in mob bust. My face blurred. Hers not. Tips poured. Hate mail to the roastery. Creeps at her yoga. We fortified. Bond to the house proper. Security cams blinking like accusatory eyes. I added night classes. EMS instructor cert. channeling rage to rookies. Assess. Act.
Assess. Igeri.
Echo of my life. Fall brought harvest, lemons tart.
Elena's swing hosting a neighbor kid.
Amaya pushing with a smile that reached eyes. But the letter's shadow lengthened. October. Routine checkup. Her doc.
Casual chat.
Any plans for number 2? She demurred. But later. Jake. The math on Elena. You ever wonder? Wonder. The dam cracked. Found this, I admitted. Reconstructed ash in a baggie, dates circled. Her face fell. Vic and I. Before Tahoe. Overlap. DNA kit order discreet. Cheek swabs while she slept. Lab in Phoenix. Wait 7 days. Eternal. Results pinged. 99.9% not mine. Elena his. The twist gutted, grief fresh. Betrayal layered. I drove the 15. Wind whipping. Tempted to swerve into the median. Stopped at a diner. Pancakes soaking tears. Called Ramirez. Brother.
It's
complicated. He flew in weekend, beers at the VFW. Stories swapping like ammo. Harlan. Blood's biology. Family's choice. Wisdom from a man who'd buried buddies. Amaya confessed that night knew the odds. Buried it like The Wire.
feared you'd leave.
Again. Never left, I said. But truth?
Non negoziable.
We cried. Purged therapy joint now. Unpacking the web. Forgiveness? Earned daily. In smalls. Her brewing my coffee black. Me rubbing her PT kinked leg. Winter whispered redemption. Holidays healed. Tree with Elena's ornament. Blue star. Our angel. Ma's rings resized for her finger. Quiet ceremony. Ramirez officiating in the backyard. Lemon blossoms confetti. Vows. Through frames and falls. I choose you. But controversial lingers. The tape's ghost. Elena's paternity unspoken to the world. Vic writes from Ely, hate screeds, claiming my girl. My kid. We burn them. Unopened. Happy ending? Debatable, scars ache and cold. Doubts whisper in quiet. Yet here, under Nevada stars, rig sirens' distant lullaby. We live. Flawed. Fierce.
Free-ish.
Revenge's final act, not destruction. But dawn after the longest night. Dawn's deceptive in the desert. Promises gold. Delivers glare. Our free-ish stretched into year 6. The house a bunker of routines. Amaya's shifts at the roastery blending lattes with laughs. My classroom drills turning greenhorns into guardians. Elena's room? Nursery now. Adoption papers in process, a sibling for the swing. Boy from Reno foster. Eyes wide as her ghost. He'll need stories, Amaya said. Folding tiny onesies. Like yours. Jake, the good ones. Good ones. I curated Marine marches. Not mortars, paramedic saves. Not the saves that scarred. But scars itch. Vic's appeals crawled pro-SE filings. Rambling legalese from his cell. Feds monitored. But one slipped through, postcard. Elena was mine. DNA lies. Bullshit. But it landed, Amaya paled. Hiding it in the junk drawer with ghosts. Spring storm hit hard, literal. Flash flood, washing the 15. Rig stranded. I pulled 12-hour overtime. Hauling families from minivans turned arcs. Home at dawn. Mud-caked. Amaya waited with soup steaming. Hero again, she teased. But worry creased her brow. Vic's latest? Ignore. Can't. Honest now. Our pact. He's poison seeping. Therapy unpacked it. His claim a hook in old wounds. Paternity the bait. Let go, the shrink urged.
Easier said.
Escalation June. Dispatched to a courthouse protest. Vic's supporters. Fringe types waving Free Rousseau signs. Scuffle turning ugly. I triaged a gash on a chanter's arm. His rant slurring. That bitch stole my blood. Harlan's puppet. Cops hauled him. I finished the stitch. Hands steady, but pulse not. Told Amaya over dinner. Tacos from the truck down the block. Lime tart as truth. They know our names. The story. Media echo. Online forums buzzing. Runaway bride mob snitch. Fake vet savior.
Trolls dox the house.
Pizzas undelivered at midnight. We unplugged. But the web stuck. Paranoia in every shadow. Kowalski advised. Go dark. Or go public. Public? Memoir pitch from a lit agent. Sniffing scandal. Revenge romance. Polarizing gold. Amaya laughed bitter. Our pain. Boxed for clicks. Declined. But the idea fermented. Control the narrative. Starve the beasts. July 4th. Irony's holiday. Fireworks mimicking flashbacks. We barbecued small. Ramirez and wife. Lemon trees strung with LEDs. Elena's boy.
Tommy.
Arrived, tentative. Foster mom trailing. 2-year-old tornado. Chasing sparks. Amaya scooped him. Laughter light. Feel that? Family boom.
Boom.
My chest echoed, pride. But Vic's postcard venom. Tommy down for nap. Ramirez pulled me aside. Beer cold. Brother. The kid yours?
Direct. Vet blunt.
I shook head. Not blood. But mine. Confession eased. Like Lansing. He clapped back. That's the win. Blood's cheap. Choice is currency.
Choice.
The word pivoted us. Amaya and I weekend trip Tahoe. Anniversary echo. Cabin on the lake. Pines whispering absolution. Hiked the trails we ran pre-chaos. Her hand in mine. Femur scar a ridge under shorts. Remember the fight? Snow angels in July.
She grinned.
Idiots in love.
Pause.
Water lapping.
Amaya. Elena.
If Vic's right, he's not. Firm. But if, doesn't change. She's ours. Ghost or not. Kiss sealed it, Salt Lake. Sun warm. Back home. Adoption fast-tracked. Tommy Harlan Ruiz. Official by August. But revenge's tail wags eternal. September. Vic's cousin surfaced. Legit this time. Lawyer's visit to the safe house, ours now. Feds off. Mr. Russo seeks visitation rights. Paternity suit pending. Blef, statute barred. But DNA dragnet attached. Subpoena for Tommy's? No. Elena's remains exhumed? Horror. Amaya shattered, sobs in the nursery. Tommy's blocks scattered like bones. He can't. She's dust. I held her. Fury forging steel. Called Morales, squash it. He did, pro bono muscle from a vet org. Filings shredded. But the suit lingered. Tabloid bait. Mobster dad claims Runaway's secret spawn. Controversy crested. Online wars. Justice for Vic versus. Survivors rise. My old squad rallied. Go fund for therapy. Ramirez posting, Harlan's the real deal. Amaya blogged anonymous. Betrayed. Broken. Building. Viral. Polarizing, some hailed redemption. Others snitched deserved. Climax crashed October. Appeal hearing. Vic remote from Ely. Screen grainy. His lawyer hammered. Coercion via recording. Fruit of the poisonous tree.
Judge.
A grizzled type. Eyed me in gallery. Mr. Harlan. Your role.
Witness.
Victim. Voice even. Tape was consent. Truth spoken free. Amaya testified. Next. Poised in Navy. Words measured. I spoke to heal. Jake listened.
Beak.
Destroyed. Jury, new panel, deliberated overnight. Verdict dawn. Appeal denied.
Permanent.
Vic's scream pixelated on feed. You'll pay. Guards muted. Gallery exhaled. After? Quiet storm. We adopted Tommy full. His laughter filling blue walls. Amaya's book deal. Memoir. Our story sanitized. Proceeds to DV shelters.
Mine.
TEDx talk slotted. From betrayal to bandages, redirecting revenge. Standing ovation. But backstage. Amaya's hug. Proud. But real? Real's the rub. Twist finale. Christmas card. Postmarked Ely. Vic scrawl. DNA was bluff.
Elena yours lied lied.
Paid off. Merry Christmas, Dad. Enclosed. Forged report. Dates fudged. Or truth. We test independent. Swab from Tommy's cheek. Control. Elena's locket hair. Saved. Results. 99.9% mine. The gut punch. Joy laced bitter. Vic's last flip. Gift or goad. Debate fodder. Did he redeem? Or rot? We frame the report. Hang in the nursery. Family. Chosen and chaste. Ending?
Nota y dibao.
Amaya and I. Ringed proper. Tommy's chaos our chorus. Rig calls persist. Saves and losses. Life's ledger. Revenge? Transmuted to resilience. Controversial as confession. Happy. If earned. Tragic. If you tally scars. But under those stars. Lemon sweet. We choose dawn. Live free or die debating.